Hey Sherry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, we have an awesome video today.
What's it called?
It's called The Magical History of Halloween.
Oh boy.
This is based on history, a lot of folklore and so forth. Some interesting facts I'm sure the viewing audience didn't know about. Things are not as they appear to be. Before we carved pumpkins, we carved turnips. Thanks to our friends from Ireland and Scotland, they brought that tradition over to the United States, and they soon discovered pumpkins, which were bigger and much easier to carve, which is pretty cool. So that's what they use to this day. So how did we come up with trick or treating? The legend started from Stingy Jack. Legend has it that he was an Irish trickster, and he tricked the devil twice.
Oh
The
my.
first time they went into a pub, they drank, they caroused, they did whatnot, all kinds of craziness. And when it came time for the bill, Jack didn't want to pay. So he asked the devil, "Can I turn you into a coin to pay?" He said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So he did. He turned him into a coin. And he didn't pay still yet. He placed the coin into his pocket and he put a crucifix on top of it. So it pretty much contained him for 1 year. After 1 year, the devil came back. He met Jack again. And Jack asked him, "Could you go up into a tree and get some fruit?" He said, "Yeah, why not?" Pretty gullible, isn't he? So he went up and Jack carved a, a sign of the cross onto one of the trees, onto the bark, and he contained him there. After 10 years, Jack passed away. He was too evil to go to heaven, and the devil wanted to teach him a lesson. So he came up with a really novel idea, which is what we know today as the modern jack o' lantern. So Jack was doomed to walk the earth with a burning ember. And excuse me, I said burning ember? Thank you.
So sad.
But he carried it around to light the way. And that's why people dressed up in Halloween costumes because they would disguise themselves so Jack wouldn't get them. We'll touch more on that later on. All right. But that's the legend of Stingy Jack. Pretty cool. Did you know all that?
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. In the 19th century, Halloween was engineered for romance. Maidens focused on their future husbands. They were obsessed with it. One of the things they would do, Sherry, pretty interesting, was get an apple. And the maiden would carefully peel it so it's one strip.
Oh boy.
And she would throw it over her shoulder. And whatever name would appear or word, that would be the husband's name.
Oh my.
I think it says something, Sherry.
What's it say?
Sucker.
Yeah. I'd say so.
A lot of this, like I said, is just nonsense, but it is interesting. It really is. So why do people dress up for Halloween? Well, I'm going to tell you. The Celts believed the night of Samhain was the barrier between the living and the dead, and it was at its thinnest. And that's where all kinds of evilness would come in. That's where Stingy Jack would come in. He would be roaming around looking for his victims. So people would dress up in Halloween costumes. Here's a couple more modern ones, but it all started many years ago. Poor kids would get a lump of coal and they'd wipe it on their face. Even they would use potato sacks, which is pretty interesting. I've seen some of these. They're really neat. They cut the eyes out, they'd put stitchings on for the mouth. It was really, really cool. But everyone was included in this time. They had a great time, and bonfires were often used. So they'd throw animal bones into the bonfire, and when it would catch fire, it was like a purification process. The smoke would be a purification type of thing. Again, all silly folklore that we don't believe in today, but it was interesting, fascinating actually. Another method of maidens finding their future husbands, they would sit in a darkened room with a lit candle, gazing into the mirror. If if they would see a person's head, a man's head, that would be their suitor. If they would see a skull, that would mean death. They would die and not have a chance to get married. So I dug him up actually. So you're the skull of the mirror. Oh, cool. Well, what do you think about being here today on my video? Oh, he says I need a better agent. But I see why you died. We're gonna place this piece of death into your mouth. So you smoke too much. Hey, I think your wife is coming. There you go. All right. That's more like it. Okay. But moving right along, we have a lot of interesting facts here. Where did the idea of getting treats come from?
Gee, I don't know.
Well, poor kids would go to wealthy people's homes and they'd knock at the door and they'd offer prayers for the departed people in their family that were supposedly trapped in purgatory.
Uh,
So when they'd offer their prayers, they would be given what's known as a soul cake. It was a little round cake, and it was often spiced with different things like cinnamon and nutmeg. October 30th was known as Devil's Night or Mischief Night. Now we know about that. When we were kids, I didn't really do anything too bad, but kids would go out, start fires, throw eggs. How many times did we get our homes toilet papered? But they know around here, Sherry, not to mess with me because I'm a magician. And when you toilet paper our house, it doesn't go very well. So that would flip them out anyway. But anyway, this is kind of cool. To help curb Mischief Night, there's a town in Anoka, Minnesota. They came up with a brilliant idea. In 1920, so it's over 100 years ago, they started a festival. I mean, I'm talking parades, bonfires, games, bands, apple bobbing. It was really cool. And this still goes on to this day. And I have in my collection, I brought this along. We have some original cans from the Anoka Festival. Really cool. These are commemorative. I'll stand up. This is pretty cool. 1979. We have all different years on here. Look at the really cool cans. And look at this from the Anoka Festival. One of these is not from the festival, but it's such a cool looking can that I wanted to bring it. Look at this. Pretty cool stuff. So they would actually make commemorative cans. I haven't gotten any in recent times, but I probably would, or I'd like to anyway. But this is really a cool piece of history. I think you would agree. It's actually really a hot time in history. All right, so we'll put this over here. Another thing happened, which is on Halloween. It's kind of cool. The magician Harry Houdini passed away.
oh yeah, I remember that.
That was in 1926 on Halloween night. His favorite holiday. Some people like Halloween, some people like different times, but we're going to get back to that in a moment because me being a magician, and all magicians like to scare people with magic tricks. What I have here is a doll, probably one of the creepiest dolls you've ever seen. I bought it years ago at an antique store. And I have a tambourine. We're going to pretty much just lay this tambourine onto her lap. Just like so. We'll put her hands up there and we'll see what happens, okay? Let me just stand back a little bit. All right, watch. Concentrate on the tambourine. Let's see what you can do today. Can you make something happen? Oh! Pretty cool, pretty spooky stuff. And I apologize walking in front of the camera like that. But getting back to Harry Houdini, Bess kept vigil for him for 10 years. It didn't work out. So she said, "Good night, Harry." That was her famous words. So we're going to do a little demonstration here with one of Harry's padlocks.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, he was not able to contact her. So I guess this was one lock that Harry was not able to pick. Watch. Concentrate if you would. Oh, there you go. Hey, I hope you folks have learned something today about the history of Halloween. It's fascinating. It's based on ancient pagan rituals. Of course, we as Christians do not go by these things. We know it's nonsense, but it's nevertheless fun to hear. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a great day. Happy Halloween!